Ready to go. The drop of the puck is around the corner, but first, a ceremonial puck drop at center ice. We told you the story of Jay Lively just moments ago. There's more to that. Here's PA announcer Paul Sura.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ice Rochelle Lively Duncan and Kelly Lively Romatsky. Rochelle and Kelly are the sisters of the late Jay Lively, a youth hockey player from Flagstaff who lost his life in a car accident while driving home from practice 26 years ago. The municipal rink in Flagstaff that was destroyed in a recent snowstorm is being rebuilt in honor of Jay Lively. Can we have the captains to center ice, please? Thank you, Rochelle and Kelly.
The sweater on Rochelle's back hasn't been worn since 1984. It belongs to her brother, the late Jay Lively. We'll talk to their family, who is in attendance later on tonight.
4-1, the St. Louis Blues with a lead over the Phoenix Coyotes, and we've been telling you the story of Jay Lively and his family all evening long, and for more on that, we go live to Todd Walsh.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave, and thanks right now to the Phoenix Coyotes, Mike Priotti, for making it happen. 18 members of the Lively family and extended family here in the building tonight to celebrate Jay Lively's life. You saw Rochelle, his sister, out with his other sister to drop the puck. Rochelle, what was it like to put this sweater on tonight and go out there and do what you did in the honor of your brother?
You know, I just don't think words can explain how I felt standing out there on center ice, and I just knew that Jay was looking down and just smiling.
I get a sense that in the last 4 or 5 weeks, as we've been trying to tell this story in conjunction with the collapse of the roof on the Jay Lively rink in Flagstaff, that your family, in particular your parents, have had a chance to celebrate his life in times in a way maybe that they didn't ever have a chance to do. Am I close to being right about that?
I think you're right, and I think that's for my entire family that's here tonight. You know, for a long time we all just tried to live with our grief, and now we're here in this and celebrating his life. Yeah, it's just, I just can't even put it into words.
It has been an extraordinary journey, as I said on the pregame show, getting to know you and your family. Thanks for letting us come along for the ride. I don't want to let him go, so I'm not, if that's okay with you.
No way, you are part of the family now.
We all are.
Yeah, it's a hockey family, and once you're in, you're in.
Thanks, Rochelle. It's been a joy. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And guys, again, we finally have a website and address if you'd like to donate. They're trying to rebuild the rink. The city of Flagstaff has certainly jumped in.
Flagstaff.az.gov. We see it right there, Walshy.
Yep, and we're very proud that they're moving forward in the efforts to rebuild that rink. It was the only municipal rink in the city of Flagstaff, obviously named in Jay's honor after he passed away on a tragic accident on I-17 in 1984. And coming up in the second intermission, we will replay the feature that we had on his life and times that you saw in the pregame show. A lot of effort and energy into that piece, and I hope you stick around for that. It's great to be here, Dave. I know you got a chance to meet the family.
Yeah, well, you know what, Walshy, great job by you in chasing this story down. I remember you telling me the story of just going by that memorial and not even knowing what it was.
No.
And just incredible how you found out from a police officer what it was all about, chasing the story down. Then the storm takes the roof of the rink down, and the rest of it we'll find out more about during the second intermission with that great piece you got coming up.
The second intermission continues here at Jobbing.com Arena. It's all St. Louis Blues after 2 periods of play. We'll see what the Coyotes have coming up in the third period in just a bit. But as we mentioned, going to a break, this is a special edition, really, of our second intermission, because coming up, we're going to replay the feature that we brought to you during our pregame show tonight, and it is the story of Jay Lively, a hockey player in Flagstaff, a youth hockey player who was so good, frankly, that, well, he had to play in Phoenix. But that eventually may have cost him his life, because he lost his life driving back to Flagstaff after practice on St. Patrick's Day in March of 1984. That story, as it ties into the rink that bears his name, when we come back in a matter of moments. And welcome back to our second intermission report here at Jobbing.com Arena. It's 5-1 St. Louis after 2 periods of play. I'm going to go ahead and call this the edition of Remember When, our season-long series, a celebration of the history of hockey in the state of Arizona. A few weeks ago, we started to tell you the story of the municipal hockey rink in Flagstaff that, was partially destroyed because of the inclement and severe weather that rolled through Flagstaff not too long ago. But as I promised then, there's more to the story. We're going to connect some dots. So let's do that, shall we? Here now the story of the namesake of that arena, the late Jay Lively.
Jay Lively loved hockey. It was his life. And by all accounts, he had a gift.
Just one of the best kids I ever coached. Honest, hardworking, full of effervescence for hockey. Jay had the same zeal for hockey that I did when I was his age, and he was. I told you I would make it through this. He was just a great kid, hardworking. He was one of the first, if I believe, the first kids from Flagstaff that came down to Phoenix to play hockey and further his career.
You can't miss it if you're looking for it as you wind your way up the hill. Another roadside memorial. There are scores of them, but this one is different. A cross and a hockey stick. It has disappeared from time to time, but there are those who refuse to let it, or the memory that it celebrates, vanish.
Well, at one point we noticed it wasn't there any longer. It had disappeared. So my son, Kyle, who was going to Flagstaff High School in those days and a minor hockey league player, was in a welding class. And I said, Kyle, we need to get another sign. So he, in his class, in a plasma cutter, he cut out a cross with Jay's name in it. We went and dodged the traffic on I-17 and got to the same place we thought the other cross was. And, we put that cross there and put a hockey stick with it as well.
Jay and Rochelle and Kelly were rink rats. One a hockey player, the others figure skaters. Brother and sisters. Time spent and time passed at the local public sheet of ice.
Jay and I were here from the minute the doors opened. And it didn't matter if there was 5 inches of snow or 60 inches of snow. We were here, and we would stick our skates on our hands and we would plow up the hill just to get here. He's my big brother, and we fought like siblings, and we were friends like siblings are friends. But I have come to find that he was larger than life.
On St. Patrick's Day 1984, Jay practiced at Oceanside Arena in Tempe. Soon thereafter, he climbed into his pride and joy, a brand new white Toyota truck. He was heading home to Flagstaff along the sometimes treacherous I-17. He never made it. Dottie and Jerry Lively are clearly pillars of the Flagstaff community. Both have a hand in 2 successful businesses. They raised a family, but they also did something that no parent should ever have to do. They buried their son.
Jay touched so many lives, young, old, and that's just the way he was.
It's hard for me to talk about it, Todd. It is. He was dedicated to the sport and dedicated to his friends and family, and pretty reserved, pretty quiet until he got on the ice.
Sylvia Marie Anderson, a family friend, her brother, a teammate of Jay's, was pulling a horse tractor southbound on I-17 that night, only she was on the wrong side of the road in the high-speed lane. She was drunk. She hit Jay head on. Another car hit him from behind. That driver perished. The Lively family was called to John C. Lincoln Hospital. Jay had no brain activity. He was on life support until family members arrived. Soon he was gone. Anderson served 7 years of a 12-year sentence. Rochelle wasn't with Jay that night. On most trips, she was.
I was with him all the time, you know. Fate, bigger forces, I don't know.
The spirit of Jay Lively lives on in hockey and figure skating circles from Flagstaff to Phoenix till this very day. It's hard not to find somebody who isn't aware of him, what happened, and the aftermath.
I just can't even really put into words how bad it was because it just didn't happen. It was unfathomable at that time.
I just keep hearing Jay Lively, larger than life. Do you agree?
Absolutely. And when he would come to practice, I could just see his smile. He had a glow about him, and he wanted to come out, and he wanted to work hard. He was a leader on the team, but aside from his hockey abilities, it was just he was such a good-natured, good-hearted kid. That's really what brings the tears to my eyes.
And that's where two stories have come together. The city of Flagstaff named the public rink that Jay skated on after him. And just as we were about to inform another generation of hockey fans and players of why that rink bears that name, the roof collapsed under the weight of the epic snowstorm that hit some weeks ago. The story was fresh again, but so too was the pain.
I know for sure this rink will get built if I have anything to do with it. And I know Jay has a lot to do with it.
And welcome back to Jobbing.com Arena. This is the second intermission report. Unfortunately, it's been all St. Louis Blues, 5-1 after 2 periods of play. And a footnote to the story we just ran on the late Jay Lively. We've been telling you the story about the hockey rink that needs to be rebuilt in Flagstaff, the only municipal rink in the city. Well, now we can tell you this. This is how you can help out. The city of Flagstaff says they're going to rebuild it. There's still a lot of discussion about which direction they're going to go and how they're going to do that, but I know this. They do need money. So if you can go online, if you feel so inclined, there is the address that you can do so at flagstaff.arizona.gov or elsewhere. We thank you for your patience on this story. We felt it was important to tell.